It's Friday evening. It's weather for Weather Geeks time. We're not going to make this too long tonight. We've talked enough about the long range this week, and nothing looks different in the longer range. Looks like a pretty warm start to February, right around Groundhog Day. There might be a couple of 50-degree days in there at the start of the month. So let's just focus on the storm for the most part this evening that is primarily missing us. Earlier on this evening, we did have a little snow that crept up into southern parts of Columbiana County. That has since retreated. In fact, as I put a loop on this, you can kind of watch that northern side starting to kind of shrivel. You know, we're getting an injection of dry air from the north and east that's really going to continue eating away at the northern fringes of this. And that's why there's going to be such a sharp gradient between a lot of snow and virtually no snow. You know, this isn't very far here from southern parts of Columbiana County down towards Wheeling, 40 miles by the way the crow flies, and that's the difference between basically 0 and several inches of snow. This is what we've been talking about all week. This is going to be a close call, but we're pretty confident, and have been for a couple of days now, that this is no big deal for our viewing area. Now, as we go through the night tonight, you can still see maybe a touch of snow down towards Calcutta, Wellsville, East Liverpool, but I don't think it's going to add up to much at all. It's certainly certainly snowing at a pretty good clip across parts of western PA this evening, around the Pittsburgh area, and then particularly off to the south towards Morgantown. That drive on I-79 is no fun at all this evening. We have gotten a lot of reports called into the Weather Service of some snow totals here. We'll just do a quick sampling of those. Over in Ohio, Cadiz 2 inches. Then you go over towards the Panhandle of West Virginia, West Alexander, an inch. A little bit closer to Pittsburgh here, Cannonsburg, an inch. And to the east of Pittsburgh, North Irwin, 2 inches. Closer to Morgantown, 2 inches there, and 3 inches in Morgantown proper. So, the snow is accumulating, certainly, off to our south. As we take a broader view of the storm, this storm is pretty much going as planned. This has been a well-modeled storm. The models really started to really key in on this really well a couple of days ago and haven't moved or deviated much since. There's been some changes in the ideas on the fringes of the storm, especially the northern fringes, but in the heart of the storm, this is behaving as expected. This has been a big problem with snow, sleet, and freezing rain down in the Carolinas today. That extends up into parts of southeast Virginia. Washington, D.C., kind of ground zero as far as the big cities go for a lot of snow, expecting probably close to 2 feet, 20, 24 inches, something in that neighborhood around the district, and certainly some higher amounts off to the west. The snow continues to creep north, and we'll get into New York City before the night is through. Here's a look at our high-resolution futurecast. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model, or HRRR, H-R-R-R, and this will show that the snow will kind of try to bubble back up occasionally tonight, up into the southern part of our viewing area, and, a lot of this probably won't even reach the ground. Again, no big deal for our viewing area, but you don't have to head too far to the south before you're going to run into some problems. Here's the RPM model snow accumulations for the duration of the storm, and this is, just titanic, these accumulations. In northern Virginia, into the panhandle of Maryland, if you look carefully here, you're starting to pick up on some purple hues that correspond to 3 feet plus on our color bar. That is a possibility. Probably not in as many areas as the model has, but certainly somewhere in this zone, Hagerstown, down into the mountains of West Virginia, into the Blue Ridge Parkway, someone in there is going to get 3 feet of snow, sure. And heavy snow extends then up into southern New England. But look at the gradient on the north side, not only in PA, but in Ohio as well. Very sharp cutoff between snow and no snow. Here's our official snowfall map. We'll zoom in on our local area here. I allowed earlier for a coating to an inch. I'm probably going to give up on the inch idea down towards East Liverpool, in Calcutta, Salineville. There's already been a coating in some spots down there. Another fresh dusting or a quarter of an inch, something like that. I think that's going to be about it for the night tonight. So here's the track of the storm. The energy gets transferred over to the coast, and just absolutely a blizzard tomorrow morning and into the midday hours. Philly, D.C. Look at how closely packed together the isobars are. It's going to be tremendously windy. Just a classic blizzard. This is going to be the kind of storm that is going to inspire future meteorologists. This is going to go into textbooks, that sort of thing. A generational type of event. You don't see these storms like this all that often anywhere, but especially over towards the big cities. The snow probably still cranking tomorrow evening. We will hang on to the clouds in eastern Ohio and western PA through the day tomorrow. It's going to be a cold day with a brisk northeast wind. But then we'll clear out tomorrow night. It'll be cold tomorrow night, down into the lower teens. But Sunday promises to be a better day. We'll have some sunshine. Clouds roll back in later Monday, but I think Monday overall is a pretty good day. We'll get into the warm sector here. Mix of sun and clouds and probably pushing 40. The next front's looking slower and slower, so it doesn't get in until overnight Monday night, and it will bring rain, it looks like. And not snow, at first anyway. So here's the GFS model with our front Tuesday morning, probably raining, but then the cold air rushes in, changes over to snow showers, gusty winds. This air mass behind the front is colder, but not as cold as the air mass this week. Just kind of typical January cold, really. Highs in the lower 30s for a lot of the tail end of next week. So that's our Friday night edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. I'll have fresh radars and everything else you need to know coming up tonight on 21 News at 11 o'clock. Hope you have a good weekend. Be sure you're following Candace and Andrew on social media, and be sure and watch them on their shows over the weekend. Andrew on WFMJ Weekend Today, and Candace on at 6 and 11 every Saturday and Sunday night.